I think if there's a theme, if there's a major point in this book, it is that despite changes in technology, despite globalization, despite the alleged death of distance, cities are more important than ever. And I think we see this very vividly on the streets of the Middle East today, where it's been called the Facebook revolution, right? And there's no question the new technologies help to make this possible. There's no question that Google executives and perhaps Mark Zuckerberg himself played a role in making this thing occur. But it wouldn't have happened if people had just tried to block Hosni Mubarak from their Facebook pages. They actually had to go to the streets of Cairo to actually effect changes. And once again, urban mobs, the streets of a city, are the places in which the future of our history, of our world's history, are actually being formed. Because in some sense, these new technologies have not made cities less important. They've actually made them more important. And that paradox, the fact that we now have an ability to effortlessly communicate across oceans and continents, the fact that we can connect easily with people on the other side of the planet, the fact that those technologies don't seem to have eaten away at cities is the sort of remarkable paradox that lies at the heart of the book. We see the resilience of cities, of course, in the developing world. We see it in the developed world as well. And in the developing world, of course, there's almost a perfect connection between urbanization and income. On average, countries that are more than 50% urbanized earn more than 5 times more than countries where less than 50% of the population is urbanized. Infant mortality rates are more than 3 times higher in those countries where less than 50% of the population is urbanized relative to those countries where more than 50% of the country is urbanized. In cities like Mumbai, and Bangalore, this is Bangalore, the places, they're the conduits between the developed world and the developing world. They're the place where the knowledge of how to interact with the developing world is in some sense imported into the developing world, and then the new ideas that are created in the developing world are then shipped out. From an American perspective, from a Canadian perspective, Bangalore perhaps feels like the place that you would call when your Boingler account doesn't work, right? When there's some place off on the edge of nowhere. From an Indian perspective, Bangalore is the quintessence of proximity, right? It's a place where smart young Indians come to learn how to be productive in the global economy. It's a place where they come to be right on top of each other, to learn from each other. Whether or not that's happening in the slick campus of a company like Mindtree, where you feel like you're in Silicon Valley, and it's a hub of international activity, where there are people there from across the world, as well as the electronic connections that bind Mindtree to the outside world, but also in this part as well, also in the messy world outside the hedges that go around Mindtree, where the people who are on the streets in Bangalore, in some sense connected to the U.S. as well, connected to the developed world as well, through the Mindtree campus, through the connections that occur.